Alright, class. Today we are going to have a very, very quick math lesson. All it is talking about how do we multiply by multiples of 10. So to get me started, I'm looking for a mathematician who can explain what are some of my multiples of 10. When I say multiples of 10, what am I talking about? What does that mean, River? Good. So 60 is a multiple of 10, right? Very good. What else do I mean? How else could you describe multiples of 10? Jane?
So it's like when you add, so when you have times, when it's 10 times 6, it would, or when it would be 10 times 2, it would be 20.
Good. So in 10 times 2 equals 20. Which one of those is a multiple of 10?
2, 20.
20 is the multiple of 10. Friends, if I asked you for multiples of 2, you could tell me any even number, right? You could say 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. You could keep going. If I asked you what are my multiples of 10, who could tell me what some of those are? That's 20 is a multiple of 10. You want to keep going? 10, 20.
30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100.
Nice. So, the tricky part is if we're multiplying by multiples of 10, could anybody tell me how to do that? If I wanted to say, like, let's say you just told me that 60 is a multiple of 10. What if I want to multiply that by something like, let's say that I've got 5 groups and each group wants 60 things. How might I go about doing that? How can I? We have not learned this, right? Has anybody seen tricks or from playing on Prodigy? Know some tricks? Gunnar, do you know some tricks? Thanks for your GPA. Oh, good. So Gunnar's saying, hey, he started counting to 5, 10, 15. Absolutely. We know how to count by the smaller number. Do you really feel like doing that 60 times today? I know. No, Gunnar, I know you can, but does it sound like a fun thing to do?
Yes. Yeah.
Has anybody heard, sorry. And has anybody learned another strategy to make that go a little bit faster? Instead of counting by 5s, what else could we do to find something as big as 60 times something else? Keegan?
If you just subtract the 0, all you have to do basically is 6 times 5 and add a 0 at the end.
Whoa. Have you guys ever heard that before? Keegan, you just taught my lesson for me, did I?
Well, okay,
So what Keegan just said is he goes, well, we can just ignore the 0. And you can say 6 times 5. What is my got my hand? You can tell me. I'm going to try that again.
30.
When I drop my hand, you can tell me what 6 times 5 is? Can you repeat what I just said?
30.
When I drop my hand, that's when you can tell me the answer. So I'm ignoring my 0. 6 times 5 is
30.
Then I have to put that 0 back. And I want to show you guys that Keegan's absolutely right.
300.
First, I ignore the 0. 6 times 5 is 30. And then I have to bring the 0 back. Let me prove it. Are you ready? Yes. Yep. So, let's do it with some smaller numbers. Actually, let's prove this one first. If I count by 60s, what's 60 plus 60?
120.
That's 120, right?
120.
So that's 2 times. 60 plus 60 again will give me another 120. And then the fifth 60 would be here.
200.
Well, 120 plus 120 is
140.
240. 240 plus 60
Equals 300.
300. And this happens every single time. If you're multiplying by multiples of 10, yeah. You guys are crushing this. What do you say? But now I gotta hear that you're using GTA to share now. It works every time. It's as simple as that. You get to ignore the zero and then add it at the end. And so if I told you that there's a new rule for multiplying with multiples of 10, it goes like this. Class. When I'm multiplying by tens,
Multiplying by 10.
I can ignore the zero,
I can ignore the zero.
solve the problem,
Solve the problem.
and add the zero at the end.
And add the zero at the end.
Who thinks that they could tell me that new rule on their own without repeating it? My rule for multiplying by tens, and when I say tens, I mean any of those multiples. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. Rylan, go ahead.
So you ignore the zero
Ignore the zero.
and add the 6.
Solve the
Solve
problem.
them.
Okay?
And what? You got it.
And after you solve it, you put the
Put the
Label.
well, do you want to phone it? I'm hearing some hums, so make sure that you're not humming because she's got to know who's ready to help. She said, Rylan already told me you ignore the zero, you solve the problem. We just need that third step.
it equals.
I'm going to phone a friend, see if they can remind us what that last step is. Because you're totally on the right track. We ignore the zero, solve the problem, and then we go and phone it, Rylan. Any of these friends?
Don't we have to say the star version together? Or after?
Rylan, who do you want to tell us that third step? Macy, so we ignore the zero, we solve the problem, and then we, what goes at the end?
The equation. To solve the answer.
Uh-oh. Macy, go ahead and phone it. Very good. Put the zero at the end. So we're going to practice. Everybody's going to have a chance to earn some Starburst today. Just make sure, do we eat them in the morning?
No.
Save them for lunch or later, okay? So, check it out. Hopefully it'll work. My projector's not very happy that I want to keep him on. So he's going to reboot here for me. I might have to just write these up. We'll see. We're going to start off with 2 times 30, and they wrote it this way. 2 times 30. And what they did to show how we ignore the zero at first, they just said, hey, what's 2 times 3?
5.
I'm going to just go, I'm going to weave through my rows.
6.
Mr. Eli, what's 2 times 3? 6. And then I need to add my, Eli, you sound so much like the rest of my class. I can't even believe it. You're really doing an awesome job of throwing your voice today. 2 times 3 is 6. And then what do I do, Eli? I add a 0. So that means 2 times 30 is
60.
Would you agree that 30 and 30 gives me 60?
Yes.
Well, Eli got it. Next problem.
Next problem.
Next problem.
Looks like my projector's going to work after all. So let's get this show on the road. I think you just wobbled a little.
No, it moved.
Way to go, Eli.
What?
Okay.
You eat your Starburst?
Ooh, that is very bright, isn't it?
Why'd you eat your Starburst?
Here we go.
Gunner?
I didn't on accident.
Uh-oh. Okay, we're moving on. 6 times 40. 6 times 40. Miss Savannah.
Wait, I thought we were doing it wrong.
Yep, I am. 6 times 4 is? That's one of my rhyme ones. 6 times 4 is?
Wait, 6 times 4. 6 times 4 is. 6 times 4 is.
Careful, because if people keep learning during her thing time, I'm going to get my points.
This came off. Because you're peeling. 30.
6, 12, 18, 24. So you told me 6 times 4 is 24, then I need to,
240.
bingo, 240. Alrighty, Mr. Landon. Let's do 70 times 8. 7 times 8. Pick up 6. Good. So 7 times 8 is 56. And when I say it's 7D times 8, it's going to be 56. With that extra 0 is
560.
Wait, whose turn is it to solve this one? Landon's. High learners are not going to earn Starburst when it's their turn. Just for a heads up. Landon, could you tell me again?
560.
Bingo. Friends, did you see that they also showed the reason that we get to add that 0 on the end is, do you remember whenever we multiply by tens, we need that it always ends in a
0.
every single time. And so if we're saying 7 times 8 is 56, well, really, we've got 7 10 times, right? Because 7 times 10 is 70. That's why we're saying we're going to multiply that by 10 or just add a 0 at the end to show that we've got 10 times that amount. Okay? Miss Maddie, you're up. Make sure you're not flirting. If you're not Maddie, you're not solving right now.
I think you don't.
4 times 50. So Maddie, you're thinking, what is 4 times 5? 20 with an extra 0 or times 10 gives me, yeah, which that number is 200. Very good. Tegan, 90 times 3. 9 times 3 is 27 with the extra 0 gives you 270. Very good. Let's see. So if 90 times 3 is 270. My next problem. I'm going to go backwards. 70 times 5. Miss Macy, birthday girl number 1. So first, Macy, you would think, what is 7 times 5? 35 with the extra 0 or 10 more times is 350. Very good. Hendrix, 5 times 80. Good. 5 times 8 is 40 with the extra 0 is? Yes, 400. Sorry. Olivia, 9 times 50.
90, 50.
9 times 5 is 45. With the extra 0, it is 450. Very good. Kevin, 3 times 80. 3 times 8. Oh, I love he's doing his jingle.
24.
3 times 8 is 24. 10 times that, 240. Very good. Jade, you ready? Okay. 2 times 30.
6.
2 times 3 is 6. 2 times 30 is 60. Online friends, I'm not going to make you watch all of them solve, but I will put some practice problems up for you. You guys are all still going to have a chance. Are you ready? Are you ready to solve yours on your slides? Last class.
Yes.
That was it. That was every single practice problem that they had for us today. So my question to you, and it's our ticket to move on to our quiz, is what do you do if you're multiplying by a multiple of 10? For example, if they're asking me to do 70 times 4, what do I do? How would I solve that? What is my rule or my trick? Olivia?
You can do 7 times 4, and then you add the 0 and so you figure out what is.
Oh, so you can just ignore the 0 and do 7 times 4 first, which is 28. And then put the 0 at the end, so it would be 280. You're going to probably have to do that on today's quiz.
Yeah.
Okay? And I want to show you how. Online friends, you've done this before, but I want to make sure that I show you guys how to get to your quiz. So, check it out.
Check it out. Check it out. Check it out.
You are going to go to our classroom, and I will project that one moment. We are going to try something new. Online friends have done it, obviously, because they're already on Classroom all the time now. But I want you guys to try to use a new extension called Cami, okay?
Camera?
And so, when you get to our classroom, like normal, you're going to go to our classroom tab. It will be we're in week 10, online friends, it'll be different for you, but for you guys, we're in week 10, and this is Quick Quiz 2-1. What is it? Now, it's going to show you both of these things when you do the assignment, okay? It's going to look like this for you guys. It'll say complete today's quiz on Cami with a K. First, there's a picture of the quiz, and then there's actually directions for you. Do we have our Chromebooks out yet? Nope, we're listening. So I want to go through these directions for you first. Cami is an extension. And so when you open on the directions, which was not the first picture, right? It was the second picture here. The first step, numero uno, install the Cami Chrome extension in your Chrome browser. So here's what you do. You can actually click on this link, and it's a hyperlink. So see how
Just a quick announcement, lunch recess will be outdoors, so bring all your coats with you to the lunchroom. Thank you.
Okay, focus.
We get extra recess.
This is a hyperlink. So when you click on that, it gives you the link here, just like when we're in slides. And you'll have to click again, and it will actually send you to the Chrome store to add this, okay? I have it. So instead of saying add up here, mine says remove from Chrome, because you see up here this little K
I do
in the
too.
corner. That's my Cami. You probably don't, because your Chromebooks have been pretty old and outdated. So I want you guys to try this first. If you already have it, then it'll say remove from Chrome, you know you're good to go. If you don't, it should have a button here that says install or add to Chrome. Dax, put that away, please. So then you would do that. Then remember how I hopped back to the file that had my instructions? It was its own tab, so I'm looking. Oh, there it is. Step 2. Go back to Google Classroom, open your class, and go to classwork. Well, we're already in classwork in our Google Classroom, so we're going to go ahead and open the assignment and choose which file to work on. So we'll go back to Classroom, which has its own tab up here. We already have the assignment pulled up, so you'll just click on our quiz. And you see this little flag that says open with Cami?
Yeah.
What does it say?
Open with Cami.
You'll have to click on that, friends, and it's gonna open it in its own new tab again. And this will let you draw on it. It will let you type your answers, and so that you can still do your work. See how I have this little plus sign? That plus sign is here because right now I have my pen or my paintbrush, and I can draw. So if I needed to work something out, I can just draw 6 times something
And now playing
Equals
with it and just drawing doodling.
42, right?
What if people draw?
Now when I do this, I can write, or I can go over here on my tools to the left, and you see how this one says text box? Anytime that you point at something with your mouse and you don't click, we call that hovering, right? Your mouse is just hovering over it. It'll tell you what that tool does. And so if I hover my mouse over this, that's my text box. I can change the color of my text or the size of my
do
text.
blue.
But I just click. See how my thing changed to a cursor here instead of a plus sign?
Yeah.
When I click, it's going to let me type. So if I think I know my answer, I will say like n equals and this is totally pretend, you guys know this is not the right answer, but I can say 100 inches. So I can type it.
It is.
Okay?
No, it's not.
Is it really 100 inches?
No.
No, because it's Mrs. Schultz giving you the answer to your quiz.
No.
Absolutely not. But, or if you decide that's not cool, you can just delete and erase it, or if the whole thing's wrong. See if there's a teeny tiny X in the corner? You can get rid of the whole thing like that.
Ooh.
Same goes with things that you've drawn. One of the tools is an eraser. It's this button here. And you can go back and you can just erase by touching the things. It's like just like some programs where you can draw things on a
This
computer.
is like paint.
So online friends, I won't give any more for you guys, you already know, but please do look. I wanna make sure I give the directions. So I'm gonna just read through the problems so you all get a preview. Numero uno. The area of the rectangle shown is 42 square inches. What is the area? What is the value of n? Well, friends, if they have a side labeled as n and if we're finding that, should that be in our answer somewhere?
Yeah.
Yes, your answer should say n equals blah, 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 blah.
Equals 12.
What should your answer say? N equals. Will you need a label on this problem? Yes, you will. And you'll have to think, gosh, my area is square inches. This side is inches, so I do not want you to blurt it, but I want you thinking, what would the label be for this side? So think about that. Numero dos. There are 81 bottles of apple juice to be equally shared among 9 people. Goodness, this is a word problem, so a smart mathematician is going to be drawing this out. If I have 81 total bottles of apple juice, and I'm sharing them among 9 people, I might have 9 groups. Or maybe I'm thinking this in my brain, and I have aced all of my word problems for a while, and I don't need to draw them out. Do you have to do a picture?
No.
What if you tend to make silly mistakes on word problems?
Yes.
Then I would, right?
Officials.
But right now I'm showing it equal shares because the problem tells me those 81 bottles are equally shared among 9 people. How many bottles will each of those 9 people receive?
9.
I don't want the answer, but I am curious for my mathematicians. What 3 things must I see on the line for your answer down here? Every single time we have a word problem. River, what are the 3 things? What are the 3 things, class? It's very nice and easy to type it with your text box. Your equation answer label. Sometimes if it's tricky for you to find what to use to put divide or times, you can draw it also, but it's also nice to type those. Kevin, did you have a question there?
Can you just type the circles with zeros?
Yes, actually, you can also draw, sorry, let me erase this really quick. So Kevin had a great question. You can also use, there's a shapes tool here, and you can draw the circles. So, instead of trying to, you see what I mean? So that
Or
works
can you
also. Good question. Savannah?
Can you type a 0 when you're typing? Can you just type it?
Yes. Yep. But friends, do you want to play with these tools, or do we want to focus on getting our quiz problems? Yeah, let's look at the next ones. Numero trace. 2 plus 3 times 8. Ooh, I see 2 operations, so I have to think about.
Please excuse my dear.
Please excuse
my dear Aunt Sally.
Will I add first or multiply first?
Multiply.
Don't forget. The next one is 3 times 2 times 7. If they're both multiplications, doesn't matter. But then, read this last problem with me, please. A book. Okay, so we just read the last problem. Friends, if there are 7 teams, and each team has 20, what type of equation would that be? If I've got the same number of players on each team, what type of operation would that be, or what type of math drawing, Eli? Yeah.
each school.
Then it would be like 7 groups of 20, or your equation might be
7 times 20.
7 times 20. Did we learn how to solve problems like that today?
Yes.
Oh, sweet. Guess what?
140.
Class. Your job now is to solve. It's only 5 problems. That's it. Okay? I wish you the best of luck with your quiz. I do not want talking because it is a quiz online, friends. You're going to do like you normally do. You're going to solve these 5 problems online. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Good luck, mathematicians.